like the adoption muscle, adoption.
What is that biologically?
Is that biological? What do
I
you
think
think
it's
that
a
is?
biological need that's trying to be.
It's expressed somehow.
Yeah. So people who can't have their own children or don't want to have their own children, they don't want to go through the physical whatever of that.
Right.
They have an option of, but I actually had this conversation with my girlfriend recently, and we talked about what if we couldn't have kids?
Mm-hmm.
What would we do, right? And I said, yeah, I'd be up for that, but my only fear is if we did have, let's say we had like one biological kid.
Yeah.
I think, and she was like, couldn't believe I said this, but I'm just being a scientist, a biologist. I think I would not love that other child as much as my biological child.
I think that's honest truth of, I wouldn't say of everyone, but I think of people, of a lot of people.
Yeah.
Including myself, I think. And it's the same thing that like you don't want to believe it, but it might happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that if you do adopt a child from, whatever,
Yeah.
from birth, whatever, their birth, I think you'll have a deep connection with it.
I think so too.
Yeah. I think that you'll be surprised how much you'll love your child.
And I actually kind of reverted back from what I initially said to her because I realized I've loved non-human animals.
Mm-hmm.
I love dogs that aren't even human. Like, love them.
From
like,
a
really
puppy
love them.
onward, right?
Yeah. So if I can do that, I think I could probably love. I just worry, what if it's 100 to 99%? Like, I love my biological child just 1% more than my adopted child, right? And that's the part where I'm like, is that right or wrong? I don't know.
I think that's the fear of it, right? And then like...
Because you love your children more than your dog, right? By a lot.
That's absolutely true.
Right. So imagine, right?
Yeah. But I have no rank with my own children.
That's what I'm saying. But they're your children.
But I don't think it's the same level of like adopted child to your biological child has that same stepwise thing. I think they're all the same at that point.
Interesting.
Once I think you're thinking too much in like theory, like your
theory,
fears.
Yeah.
But I think once you do have it, I don't think that's
Yeah, and I hope that's right. I hope that's what would happen with me because because I know I would feel terrible if that was the case. It would make me feel bad knowing that I loved another child more than
Well, it just means also that you'll prevent ways onto treating them differently because you're aware of it. There are people who are unaware that just treat the adopted child like shit.
But I did throw her another curveball. I was like, what if they were both drowning?
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
And that's where animal comes in, right?
Jesus, you think so? I think
it's a really fucked up thing to think about.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
Why?
It's a dumb experiment.
It's not an experiment. Let's just say it happened.
I know. I'm just saying. I think all like sacrifice ones are dumb experiments.
Because you're irrational at that moment. Is that why?
Well, because it's not a it's a pointless thought experiment. It just it triggers something in you that you shouldn't have to deal with.
But that's what I'm trying to get at. That part
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I think it just poisons your mind. It's poison. Those thought experiments are poison.
I see.
Yeah. They just make you more paranoid, more whatever. Just love your kid. That's it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Don't do any thought experiments of which one's more important.
I know. I was just being very Darwinian.
No, I understand. Yeah. And I think when you're young and like stupid, you do it with like other things, right? Like your mom and your dad or whatever, your brother, which brother or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But it's stupid at the end. It's just a thing that causes pain.
Good point.
Yeah.
There's
no point to it. You live your life most likely without that ever happening.
Yes, that'll never happen. Correct.
And you have this thought experiment where you seem like an asshole because you made a decision on something that is pointless to think about.
Yeah. The only reason I brought it up to her was I was trying to explain that I think in extreme circumstances, biology would trump. That's all I was saying. But I don't know, right?
You don't know. You absolutely don't know.
Yeah.
Also, fucking teach your child how to swim.
Yeah.